In January 1930, the New York Automobile Show became the stage for an extraordinary spectacle: Cadillac's unveiling of its first V-16 automobile. Towering with a long, elegant hood and a body that spoke of meticulous craftsmanship, this car was unlike anything the American market had seen before. It was a bold statement of engineering ambition and refined luxury, designed to captivate an elite clientele seeking the pinnacle of automotive prestige. Yet, this grand debut occurred against a backdrop of growing uncertainty. Just a few months earlier, the Wall Street crash had shaken the nation, but the full impact on the economy and consumer confidence was still unfolding. The air was thick with a paradox. Here was a car that embodied optimism, power, and elegance, introduced precisely when the world capable of sustaining such extravagance was beginning to vanish. The V16's presence at the show was more than a new model launch. It was a symbol of Cadillac's confidence and a challenge to the shifting tides of its time. To truly grasp why Cadillac chose this moment to reveal such a masterpiece, we need to understand where the company stood in the luxury market before the V16's arrival. For many visitors, the V16's arrival seemed almost surreal, a vision of prosperity and technical mastery unveiled at a moment when the nation's future felt increasingly unpredictable and fragile. To understand this bold move, we must first look at Cadillac's position in the luxury car market before the V16's arrival. By the late 1920s, Cadillac had firmly established itself as a symbol of American luxury and engineering excellence. Known for its smooth V8 engines and refined craftsmanship, the brand was already a leading name in the premium automotive market. Yet Cadillac's ambitions stretched beyond maintaining its status quo. The company sought to redefine luxury on a scale that few could match, aiming to set new standards in power, smoothness, and prestige. This drive was not born out of complacency, but from a desire to compete directly with the most elite marques on both sides of the Atlantic. Cadillac's existing lineup included a sophisticated V12 model introduced after the V8, which offered a higher level of refinement and performance, positioning the brand as a multi-cylinder luxury leader. Even so, Cadillac faced intense competition from American rivals such as Packard, Marmon, and Duesenberg, as well as European marques like Rolls-Royce and Hispano-Suiza. These competitors were renowned for their exquisite craftsmanship and engineering prowess, setting a high bar for any manufacturer aspiring to the top tier of luxury automobiles. In this context, Cadillac's leadership recognized that to surpass these esteemed names, it would need to push beyond the familiar. The idea of a 16-cylinder engine emerged as a bold statement, an engineering marvel that could deliver unprecedented smoothness and torque, characteristics essential for the large, heavily appointed luxury cars of the era. Unlike engines designed solely for speed, Cadillac's vision focused on an exceptionally quiet and flexible power plant, one that would enhance the driving experience and underscore the brand's commitment to refinement. This pursuit was more than just about numbers. It was about creating a mechanical masterpiece that embodied prestige and sophistication. Behind the scenes, Cadillac's styling and visual presentation were also evolving. Influenced by Harley Earl and the General Motors Art and Color Organization, the brand embraced a new culture of design that emphasized elegance and modernity without sacrificing the formal grandeur expected by luxury car buyers. The resulting vehicles would not only perform superbly, but also command respect through their presence and craftsmanship. It was within this atmosphere of competitive pressure and creative ambition that Cadillac embarked on a secret program to develop its original V16 engine. This project was as much a statement of technological leadership as it was a gamble on the future of luxury motoring. The V16 was conceived not simply as an engine, but as the heart of a complete luxury automobile program, one that would offer an unprecedented range of Fleetwood coach-built body styles and customization options. These bespoke touches allowed buyers to express personal taste while enjoying the pinnacle of American automotive engineering. As Cadillac prepared to unveil this groundbreaking model, the company stood at a crossroads, balancing its storied past with a daring vision for the future. Behind this ambition lay a secret engineering program and a visionary engineer whose work would shape the V16's heart. Deep inside Cadillac's engineering labs during the late 1920s, a secret project was quietly taking shape, one that would stretch the boundaries of automotive design and craftsmanship. At the heart of this endeavor was a bold ambition: to create an engine unlike any other in American production, one that combined unparalleled smoothness, power, and refinement. This was the genesis of Cadillac's original V16, an overhead valve 16-cylinder engine arranged in a narrow V configuration and displacing approximately 452 cubic inches, which gave rise to the Series 452 designation. Leading the technical charge was Owen Nacker, an engineer whose expertise and meticulous approach proved essential in bringing this complex engine to life. Unlike many performance engines of the era focused on outright speed, Nacker and his team prioritized an exceptionally smooth and quiet operation. The 16 cylinders fired in such a sequence that vibration was minimized, delivering a level of mechanical harmony that few automobiles could match. This was not merely about raw horsepower. It was about creating an engine that felt as refined as the luxurious vehicles it would power. The V16's abundant low-speed torque was a critical feature, well suited to the large, heavy, and richly appointed Cadillacs it would propel. These were vehicles designed for dignified cruising and effortless acceleration, whether driven by their owners or chauffeurs. Achieving this required innovative engineering solutions, from the careful balancing of moving parts to the precise timing of valve operation. Every element was crafted to ensure a flexible, responsive performance that complemented the car's grand proportions. Beyond internal mechanics, Cadillac's engineers paid extraordinary attention to the engine's external presentation. Wiring and plumbing were thoughtfully concealed, and components were arranged with an eye toward visual order and craftsmanship. Opening the hood was intended to reveal not just an engine, but a showcase of mechanical artistry and precision. This attention to detail reflected Cadillac's commitment to prestige, signaling to owners and onlookers alike that the V16 was no ordinary power plant. The development of the V16 was far more than installing a large engine into a standard Cadillac chassis. It was an integrated luxury automobile program, with the engine as its crowning achievement. This careful orchestration of engineering and design set the foundation for the V16's reputation as a masterpiece of American automotive ambition. As the project advanced, it became clear that this engine would redefine what a luxury car could be, not just in power or speed, but in the very experience of driving. This philosophy extended to every aspect of the V16's presentation, where the engine's visual harmony echoed the luxury and dignity expected by Cadillac's clientele. The result was an automobile that projected confidence and exclusivity, inviting admiration not only for its technical prowess, but for the sense of occasion it brought to every journey. But what made 16 cylinders so special was not just power, but a unique kind of luxury in motion. 16 cylinders weren't just about strength. They were about crafting a new kind of smooth, silent luxury. The Cadillac V16's engine was a marvel of engineering precision, designed not for outright speed or racing dominance, but to deliver an unmatched driving experience defined by effortless power and refined calm. At its heart was the innovative narrow-angle V configuration, an overhead valve design that arranged 16 cylinders in a compact, efficient layout. This allowed the engine to be remarkably smooth in operation, minimizing vibration and mechanical noise in a way few other engines of the time could match. Unlike typical engines that might roar or clatter under load, the V16 glided through its power band with a hushed confidence, creating an atmosphere of quiet authority under the long hood. The displacement of approximately 452 cubic inches gave the engine a substantial presence, yet it was the abundant low-speed torque that truly set it apart. This torque was essential because the V16 powered large, heavy Cadillacs laden with luxurious appointments and formal coachwork. Instead of requiring the driver to push hard to move such weight, the engine responded with a flexible and effortless surge, making acceleration feel smooth and natural, rather than abrupt or strained. It was an engine that invited relaxed driving, a stark contrast to the more aggressive, high-revving sports cars of the era. The V16's power delivery was carefully calibrated to emphasize refinement over raw speed, a choice that reflected Cadillac's ambition to redefine what luxury meant on the road. The engineering attention extended beyond the internal mechanics to the engine's external presentation. Components were meticulously arranged, wiring and plumbing concealed, and finishes polished to a gleaming standard. This careful design not only improved reliability and maintenance, but also communicated a sense of mechanical order and craftsmanship whenever the hood was lifted. The V16 was more than a power plant. It was a statement of technological sophistication and prestige. This engine was not simply installed in an existing Cadillac chassis. It was the centerpiece of a comprehensive luxury automobile program. Combined with Fleetwood's elegant coachwork and a wide range of body styles, the V16 embodied an ideal of motoring that was as much about presence and comfort as it was about performance. It competed with the finest American and European luxury cars, standing as a symbol of American engineering confidence during a time of uncertain economic future. In the early 1930s, the Cadillac V16's distinctive engine experience offered its owners a rare blend of silence, smoothness, and power, a mechanical expression of luxury that went beyond mere speed or horsepower numbers. For many owners, the V16's serene operation and dignified power became a defining part of the Cadillac experience, reinforcing the sense that every journey was an occasion. This harmony of engineering and comfort elevated expectations for luxury motoring. Yet the V16's excellence extended beyond performance to the artistry beneath the hood, where engineering met visual craftsmanship. Opening the hood of the 1930 Cadillac V16 reveals more than just an engine. It exposes a meticulously crafted tableau of mechanical artistry. This was no ordinary engine bay. Conceived during the late 1920s, the V16's power plant was a marvel of engineering precision and visual refinement, designed not only to perform, but to impress discerning owners who valued craftsmanship as much as power. The original Series 452 engine featured a narrow-angle V configuration with 16 overhead valves, an arrangement that already distinguished it technically. But Cadillac's approach went far beyond engineering specifications. Every visible surface was polished to a high sheen, every wire and pipe carefully concealed or routed with an eye towards symmetry and order. This attention to detail was deliberate, meant to communicate a sense of prestige and mechanical harmony at a glance. Engineer Owen Nacker, who played a central role in developing the V16 engine, insisted on not only smoothness and flexibility, but also on creating an engine bay that radiated refinement. The complexity of 16 cylinders could easily have resulted in a cluttered, intimidating mess. Instead, the engine compartment was arranged with an almost architectural sense of balance and flow. Components were grouped logically, and the external finish was so carefully executed that the engine itself became a visual statement. Concealed wiring and plumbing reduced distractions and reinforced the idea of mechanical order. This was a space meant to be seen, whether during maintenance by a skilled chauffeur or as a mark of prestige when the hood was lifted for inspection. This philosophy of visual elegance extended beyond the engine. Harley Earl and the General Motors Art and Color organization influenced Cadillac's entire styling culture during this period. They emphasized the importance of appearance as an expression of luxury and status, integrating form and function into a seamless whole. The V16's engine bay was a direct reflection of this ethos, a fusion of engineering excellence and artistic presentation. It was a space where craftsmanship spoke volumes about the brand's commitment to luxury and innovation. The deliberate design of the engine compartment also underscored the car's role as a complete luxury program. The V16 was not simply a powerful engine transplanted into a standard chassis. It was a harmonious package where every detail, visible or hidden, contributed to the vehicle's overall prestige. This included the precise finish beneath the hood, which echoed the elegance found in the car's exterior lines and sumptuous interiors. In this way, the Cadillac V16's engine compartment became a symbol of more than mechanical power. It embodied the meticulous attention to detail and refined craftsmanship that defined Cadillac's image at the dawn of the 1930s. Yet this art extended beyond the engine to the entire automobile, shaped by the world-renowned Fleetwood coachwork. Even the smallest details beneath the hood reflected Cadillac's pursuit of perfection, reinforcing the sense that luxury was achieved through both visible artistry and hidden precision. But this art extended beyond the engine to the entire automobile, shaped by the world-renowned Fleetwood coachwork. The Cadillac V-16 was more than a feat of engineering. It was a canvas for Fleetwood's artistry and bespoke luxury. As the premier coach builder within General Motors, Fleetwood played an indispensable role in shaping the V-16's identity. Rather than merely fitting the powerful Series 452 engine into a standard chassis, Cadillac presented a complete luxury automobile program, one where the bodywork itself was a statement of refinement and prestige. Fleetwood supplied much of the V-16's coachwork, offering a broad selection of catalog styles that ranged from formal sedans and limousines to elegant coupes, open roadsters, phaetons, convertibles, and town cars. These body styles reflected the era's taste for long, stately proportions and formal elegance, perfectly complementing the V-16's commanding presence. While many of these V-16s wore Fleetwood's catalog designs, it would be misleading to think of them as uniform or standardized. Extensive variations in color, trim, interior appointments, and special requests allowed owners to personalize their vehicles to a remarkable degree. This created a rich spectrum of individuality within the framework of Fleetwood's signature craftsmanship. The careful balance between standardized coachwork and bespoke customization was a defining characteristic of the V-16 experience. The craftsmanship extended beyond surface aesthetics. Fleetwood bodies were known for their impeccable fit, finish, and attention to detail, matching the mechanical sophistication under the hood. The coach builder's work communicated not only luxury but also mechanical order and precision, reinforcing the V-16's image as a complete, harmonious creation. The range of body configurations also carried cultural significance. Formal sedans and limousines were often chauffeur-driven, serving as moving symbols of status and dignity. At the same time, open models like phaetons and roadsters offered a different kind of luxury, one that emphasized personal enjoyment and the thrill of driving. Not every V-16 owner employed a chauffeur, and the choice of body style could reflect personal preference, lifestyle, or social standing. This diversity in body styles demonstrated Cadillac's understanding of its clientele's varied desires. Fleetwood's role was not just about aesthetics. It was about crafting an automobile that embodied the aspirations of an elite market. The collaboration between Cadillac's engineering team and Fleetwood's artisans resulted in vehicles that were as much works of art as they were feats of mechanical refinement. Through Fleetwood, the V-16 transcended its role as a mere engine and chassis to become a symbol of personalized luxury, an embodiment of American craftsmanship at its finest. For many buyers, the process of selecting a V-16 extended far beyond choosing a body style from a catalog. Clients could consult directly with Fleetwood representatives to discuss fabrics, wood finishes, and even subtle details such as monogrammed hardware or unique color combinations. This level of engagement fostered a sense of personal investment, making each V-16 not just a possession, but a reflection of its owner's vision. Understanding who bought these magnificent cars reveals much about the culture and expectations of luxury ownership in 1930. Owning a Cadillac V-16 was about more than transportation. It was about standing at the pinnacle of American luxury. In the early 1930s, this car represented a statement of refined taste, technical sophistication, and social stature. The clientele for the V-16 were a select group, individuals who sought not only the latest in automotive engineering, but also a vehicle that could embody their personal success and prestige. Many owners chose formal sedans or limousines, often employing chauffeurs to navigate the sprawling cities and estates where these grand automobiles were most at home. These chauffeur-driven models projected an image of authority and elegance, fitting for business magnates, social elites, and those accustomed to traditional modes of luxury motoring. Yet the V-16's broad range of Fleetwood body styles also attracted a different kind of owner, those who preferred the experience of driving themselves. Open models, like roadsters, phaetons, and convertibles, allowed for a more personal connection with the car, reflecting a lifestyle that combined sophistication with a spirited embrace of motoring pleasure. This owner-driven approach was less about formal display and more about enjoying the craftsmanship and smoothness of the V16's engineering firsthand. Importantly, owning a Cadillac V16 was not simply about flaunting wealth. It symbolized confidence in American engineering and a commitment to personalized luxury. Each car, while often built on cataloged Fleetwood designs, was tailored through choices in color, trim, and interior appointments, allowing owners to express individual tastes within the framework of a highly prestigious automobile. This balance of technical achievement and bespoke elegance set the V16 apart in a competitive luxury market that included other American marques like Packard and Marmon, as well as European names such as Rolls-Royce and Hispano-Suiza. Cadillac's ambition was clear: to match or even exceed these revered competitors in refinement and exclusivity. Yet, the V16's exclusivity was also a reflection of its extraordinary price, one that limited its buyers to a very narrow segment of society. While some owners were prominent figures, the car was not exclusively owned by celebrities or notorious personalities, and the stories of ownership focus more on documented realities than on myths or sensational tales. The presence of a Cadillac V16 in a garage was a sign of fragile optimism, a belief in progress and luxury even as the economic landscape shifted dramatically. This automobile was a testament to craftsmanship and ambition, standing at the intersection of social aspiration and engineering excellence. Understanding these dimensions of ownership deepens our appreciation of what the Cadillac V16 represented during its brief but remarkable moment in automotive history. For many, the decision to acquire a V16 was as much about participating in a culture of distinction as it was about the car itself. The V16's presence at exclusive gatherings or along fashionable boulevards quietly reinforced its owner's place within a rarefied social circle. Yet even this pinnacle soon faced the harsh realities of a changing economy and a shrinking market. The Cadillac V16 made an immediate impression when it was unveiled at the New York Automobile Show in January 1930. Its debut captivated the public and press alike, not only because of its groundbreaking 16-cylinder engine, but also for the sheer elegance and craftsmanship it embodied. At a time when few automobiles dared to push the boundaries of power and refinement, Cadillac's bold statement of engineering prowess and luxury commanded attention. Early orders reflected this enthusiasm, with affluent buyers eager to own what was widely regarded as the pinnacle of American automotive ambition. Yet, this excitement unfolded against a backdrop of economic uncertainty still settling in after the Wall Street crash of October 1929. The full impact of that financial upheaval was not yet clear, and many buyers initially viewed the V16 as a symbol of enduring prosperity rather than impending hardship. However, as 1930 progressed, the economic landscape shifted dramatically. The Great Depression's grip tightened, and the market for ultra-luxury automobiles began to shrink sharply. Even the most prestigious marques found their clientele dwindling, and the Cadillac V16 was no exception. Despite its extraordinary engineering and the prestige of Fleetwood coachwork, demand for such an exclusive and expensive automobile became increasingly constrained. Production numbers declined noticeably as orders slowed, reflecting the broader contraction of wealth and consumer confidence. It's important to note that historical records offer varying figures for V16 production in 1930, depending on whether one considers calendar year totals, model year data, or chassis counts. This variation underscores the complexity of tracking such a niche product during a turbulent era. The V16's journey from initial enthusiasm to a harsher market reality illustrates how even the most ambitious automotive programs were vulnerable to forces beyond engineering and design. Cadillac's V16 was not merely an engine grafted onto an existing chassis. It was a comprehensive luxury program, with a broad selection of Fleetwood body styles that allowed for significant customization. Yet the shrinking pool of buyers meant that many planned variations and bespoke options were never fully realized. The automobile's long, formal proportions, combined with its smooth and quiet engine, were tailored to a clientele that valued prestige and refinement above all else. Buyers who, as the Depression deepened, found their priorities and means shifting dramatically. While the Cadillac V-16 competed with other elite American and European luxury marques, its fate was inextricably tied to the fragile optimism of its time. The initial strong response was a testament to Cadillac's reputation and the allure of its engineering milestone. But the economic crisis imposed limitations that no amount of technical excellence could overcome. This period marked a turning point, where Cadillac had to reconsider its approach to multi-cylinder luxury automobiles. The introduction of the V12 after the V16, along with later engine revisions, reflected a strategic adaptation to the realities of a contracting luxury market. As production volumes fell, Cadillac's multi-cylinder lineup evolved, balancing ambition with the new economic constraints that defined the decade. As production dropped, Cadillac adapted its multi-cylinder lineup, including the introduction of a V12 and later engine revisions. Though the market for extravagant luxury cars was shrinking rapidly, the original Cadillac V16 remained a remarkable expression of engineering brilliance and refined craftsmanship during its final years. After its dramatic debut in 1930, the Series 452 V16's production steadily declined as the economic realities of the early 1930s took hold. Cadillac continued to offer the V16 alongside its expanding multi-cylinder lineup, including the introduction of a V12, but by the late 1930s, the number of these grand automobiles rolling off the assembly line had become extremely limited. The original overhead valve V16 engine, with its narrow-angle 16-cylinder configuration and approximately 452 cubic inches of displacement, stood apart from the later V16 introduced in 1938. That subsequent engine, a flathead design with a wider V-angle, represented a substantial mechanical departure from the first-generation power plant. It is important to keep these two distinct engines separate when considering the V16's legacy in this era. Throughout the 1930s, Cadillac's V16 models embodied the apex of American luxury and engineering confidence, even as the market for such vehicles contracted sharply. The long, stately proportions of the Series 452 chassis, combined with the elegant Fleetwood coachwork, continued to attract discerning buyers who valued the blend of power, smoothness, and bespoke customization. Fleetwood's catalog offered a range of formal sedans, coupes, and convertibles, with each automobile reflecting a balance between standardized craftsmanship and individual appointments. This flexibility allowed the V16 to maintain its prestige among elite American and international marques, including Packard and Duesenberg, despite the shrinking clientele. While the V16 was never designed for racing, nor did it achieve motorsport fame, its significance lay in its technical refinement and the statement it made about Cadillac's ambitions. The car's engineering excellence, highlighted by meticulous attention to engine finish, concealed plumbing, and a well-ordered engine bay, remained a benchmark for luxury automaking. By 1940, the original V16's production was a shadow of its early years, signaling the end of an extraordinary chapter in pre-war luxury automobiles. Yet, its impact endured as a symbol of a fleeting moment when automotive innovation and personal luxury were pursued with unmatched zeal. The V16's story is not one of commercial triumph, but rather one of daring craftsmanship and fragile optimism, crafted just as the world's economic landscape was irrevocably changing. As the decade progressed, the Cadillac V16's presence on American roads became increasingly rare, yet each surviving example stood as a testament to a unique era in luxury motoring. The V16's enduring allure was not simply a matter of mechanical prowess, but also of the cultural aspirations it represented. An automobile conceived in a period of optimism and introduced just as the world was entering profound uncertainty. Its legacy is inseparable from the ambitions and anxieties of its time, reflecting both achievement and vulnerability. Ultimately, the Cadillac V16 became a symbol of ambition, craftsmanship, and fragile optimism in a vanished world. The Cadillac V16 stands as a testament to bold vision and craftsmanship, forged at a moment when the world was on the brink of change. Conceived during the prosperous late 1920s, It embodied Cadillac's ambition to create a luxury automobile unlike any other in America, a machine that combined engineering refinement, exceptional smoothness, and a vast array of personalized Fleetwood coachwork. Yet, its arrival in early 1930 was marked by dramatic timing, just months after the Wall Street crash, when the economic landscape was rapidly shifting beneath its wheels. This was no calculated gamble on a shattered market, but rather an expression of fragile optimism, a final flourish of confidence before the full impact of the Great Depression took hold. The V-16 was more than an engine. It was a complete luxury program, designed to impress with its quiet power, meticulous craftsmanship, and formal elegance. Its long hood, narrow V configuration, and carefully detailed engine bay spoke to an era when prestige was measured in subtlety and presence, not merely speed or numbers. While production soon declined, the V-16's legacy endured, captivating collectors and historians who recognize it as both an engineering achievement and a symbol of a vanished world. It reminds us how ambition and adversity can intersect in a fleeting moment of history, leaving behind a story that continues to fascinate. What do you think made the V-16 story so compelling? Share your thoughts as we celebrate this extraordinary chapter in American automotive history. And if you've enjoyed this journey, consider subscribing for more stories that explore the heart of classic cars and their times. What do you think made the V-16 story so compelling? Share your thoughts as we celebrate this extraordinary chapter in American automotive history.